A little over 2 years after the original announcement video confirmed to us Chapter 1 of the DCU, otherwise known as Gods and Monsters, they now released a sort of a 2-year later update, confirming a lot of new information and updates over certain projects, as well as certain other non-DCU projects. And in this video, I'll be breaking it all down, everything we learned in this 2-year later update, in a video that is a lot less scripted than my typical. But either way, make sure to subscribe and leave a like on this video, and let's get right into it, starting with the article saying that DC Studios wants to develop 2 live-action movies, 1 animated movie, 2 live-action shows, and 2 animated shows per year, a bit more than what they previously said, which is 2 movies and 2 shows per year, but this makes a lot more sense considering how many projects are in development. This year, for instance, however, will be a little bit less. There's going to be 1 animated show, which was Creature Commandos, and that already released, and it released half of its episodes last year, 1 live-action movie and 1 live-action show. Next year, however, we'll have more of everything. And this is all apparently a part of a 6-year plan that will conclude with an Avengers Endgame style ending, which could mean we'll be getting a Justice League movie or 2 in the very early 2030s, like 2030 and 2031. Hopefully, we'll be getting a 2-parter. That's what I would do, a Justice League movie in 2030 and another one in 2031, concluding this first chapter. On top of all that, they're also looking to get in as many projects into development as possible, not waiting to see how Superman does, because while I do think it will do well, if it doesn't, the universe is very much in trouble. However, if they already have films and TV shows in development, maybe it won't be. Speaking of those movies and TV shows, James Gunn has mentioned that they have greenlit 5 theatrical films, have made 3 live-action shows, and are producing 5 animated series. Let's break each one of those down. The 5 theatrically released films that have been greenlit are Superman coming out this year, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow coming out in mid-2026, Clayface coming out in September 2026, so late 2026, and it's confirmed that they had no plans to make a Clayface movie, but the script that was given to them was so good that they had to put it in development, especially since they're making it for very cheap. Sergeant Rock, which has officially been confirmed and looking for a star. Up until now, it's only entirely been maybe. And then Dynamic Duo, which is coming out in 2028, the only animated movie that's been officially greenlit. With Dynamic Duo, Gunn actually wants it to be in the DCU, but because of its story, and it seems like a story that will take place over the course of a very long amount of time, and also have an unconventional origin story for the Robins, it might not be possible, probably because of the canon that James Gunn has in mind for both the DCU and whatever they're writing for the Dynamic Duo movie. As for the 3 live-action shows that they have already made, there's Peacemaker Season 2 coming out in August, Lanterns, which has apparently been pushed up to early 2026. Beforehand, it was supposed to be around Supergirl mid-2026, and the 3rd show is a bit of an unknown. Paradise Lost was basically not mentioned at all in this entire thing. Maybe that is secretly close to development. Waller has been referenced to have a bit of a troubled development process, and it seems like the scripts are not complete, so I don't think it's that. And it also does not seem to be Booster Gold, since there was a showrunner who then apparently lost interest, and they have pivoted to something else, but apparently are still working on it. Booster Gold was also a troubled development. I think it's possible they're talking about the Penguin, but I think the Penguin actually started development before James Gunn took over, so I'm not sure, but we don't yet know what this 3rd live-action show is. And then there are the animated series, definitely the focus of things here, since a few new animated series have been announced, and 1 series of animated shorts, but that series of animated shorts, which is to focus on crypto, is the only one that's confirmed to take place in the DCU. Apparently, there will be 4 of them, and it will be seasonal, each one taking place in a different season, focusing on the same crypto that is appearing in Superman and maybe Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. That, however, is not counted as a part of one of the 5 animated series being produced by DC Studios. The first one is Creature Commandos, which had a 1st season come out and then a 2nd one in development. Blue Beetle, an animated series following up on the events of the movie, which is apparently very close to being greenlit. And then a few newly announced series like My Adventures with Green Lantern, almost certainly set in the same world as My Adventures with Superman. In fact, Green Lanterns were referenced in that series, so maybe that was a direct connection. And maybe this could be the start of a DCAU-styled shared animated universe. I would personally love to see My Adventures with the Flash next, or My Adventures with Wonder Woman. Apparently, however, this will be an unconventional Green Lantern story, as it's not focusing on Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart, or even Guy Gardner, or hell, even Kyle Rayner. It's focusing on Jessica Cruz as a high school student becoming a Green Lantern. It also seems to be entirely Earth-based, focusing on the foes of the Green Lantern Corps coming to Earth. With My Adventures with Superman, it's pretty clear who the in My Adventures with Superman would be. It's Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen. But the Green Lanterns, and especially Jessica Cruz, don't really have that same supporting cast cast. If it was Hal Jordan, I'd think Carol Ferris. They're definitely going to have to give Jessica a new supporting cast, maybe taking from other characters, or maybe inventing new ones. I am actually pretty excited for this. I would be more excited if it focused on Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart, or even Kyle Rayner, but I do really like My Adventures with Superman, and I am just glad that they are making something related to Green Lantern. I want to see a Green Lantern renaissance, and now there are 2 Green Lantern TV shows in production, so I am definitely happy about that. And then is Starfire, seemingly stylized to have an exclamation mark in her title like Shazam for whatever reason. I think this will be set in the DCU as opposed to My Adventures with Green Lantern, as Starfire cameos in Cersei's vision in Creature Commandos, and I'm assuming they took the design from this series and are using it for that vision, and that design is based on the Rebirth suit. This will be an animated series focusing on Koriander's origin story, but a different one from the comics that doesn't seem to involve the Teen Titans at all. In the series, she'll be using an ancient spaceship she discovers on her homeworld of Tamaran to escape her planet and explore the stars, along the way meeting a few other DC Comics heroines, like Lobo's daughter's crush, a character who loved plants named Fern, who in the comics is from Earth 6, and is also a princess, as well as another princess, Princess Amethyst of Gemworld, who a lot of people thought Ilana Rostovich was. Those 4 will then uncover the deepest reaches of the DC universe, save space dolphins, surf technicolor nebulas, and boldly soar into the unknown. I'm assuming this will end with her coming to Earth and joining the Teen Titans, which could also mean that she will be a teenager in this series, which is true for My Adventures with Green Lantern as well. 2 different series focusing on female heroes who are now teenagers. This last series, however, goes even younger. This last show is one that I don't really feel like I need to mention, a show called DC Superpowers, which seems to be a preschooler's show like for really little kids, taking place at the Alliance School for Heroes and focusing on new students, and this is a very random bunch. Lightning, Flash, Plastic Man, Aquagirl, Green Lantern, and Terra, who then level up their powers under the supervision of Principal Martian Manhunter in the hopes of one day graduating and becoming the next generation of Earth's defenders. So yeah, a preschooler's show, but hey, at least Flash is appearing in something. According to James Gunn, a few of the projects that he initially announced have had a bit of a tougher development than expected, like I already mentioned, Waller and Booster Gold, but also a few movies like The Authority, as the script has had a harder time coming along, and apparently this movie is not a priority anymore. Honestly, I would not mind if The Authority is entirely cancelled and they focus on other projects that I think is more necessary. As for Swamp Thing, James Gunn and the writer-director James Mangold have talked about it occasionally, but it is seemingly not at all close to production. Then there's the Batman side of things. We already knew that there won't be another Batman project for a while, but we did learn a new thing about The Brave and the Bold, which is that it seems like James Gunn will be co-writing The Brave and the Bold, or at least working closely with the writer. Andy Muschietti is also implied to no longer be attached, which is, I think, a good thing, and Robert Pattinson will definitely remain separate. Speaking of, the Batman Part 2 still does not have a script. How? Either way, it is supposed to start filming this year. As for other miscellaneous details, the Teen Titans script was apparently handed in by Anna Nogueira, and it is apparently really good, but not complete yet. And the Deathstroke and Bane movie was not mentioned at all. Gunn didn't confirm nor deny a project by Matthew Orton, although it seems like, yeah, that movie does exist. And so that is it for now. A few troubling developments, a few promising ones, one new show I'm not excited about at all, another one that I am interested in but would be more if we focused on a different version of the character, and then one that I am actively pretty interested in. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and thanks for watching.